You don't get to flip. You guys are the mighty Ummah. You guys are the mighty Muslims, the mighty Persian, Iranian IRGC. You guys have the power, no? Aren't you guys supported by the Islamic Ummah, the people of Lebanon and Syria and Masr and Urdun? Isn't everyone standing behind you to attack the evil Zionists? Shalom Chaverim, it is your sweet Zionist prince back for some more. Look at the news and what's going on in our crazy world. Iran is on the table, specifically the IRGC, the Islamic regime, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. We make a point on this channel to never discriminate against the actual Iranian people, the Persian people. We love you here on the Traveling Clat. We support you. We want you to resist your government, and we want to topple the Islamic regime of Iran that is causing all of us a lot of pain in the Middle East. So Zan Zendegi Zadagi, I believe that's the right term. That's women, life, freedom. I stand behind that 100%, and I stand behind the people of Iran. Iran is losing its marbles right now. Trump is about to get into power. All the proxies are on full alert. Trump even yesterday threatened that if the hostages are not returned by the time he takes power, the whole entire Middle East will be set on fire. It's a pretty outlandish claim. Hamas is playing games. The IRGC is playing games. And well, now Israel is back on high alert for a potential attack from the Islamic regime of Iran. Let's take a look at what I-24 News English is saying.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says Tehran is ready to renew talks with world powers over its nuclear program.
We hope to restart the talks with the aim of reaching an agreement. We are willing to follow the original comprehensive agreement
Someone is panicking. I just want to say.
Model on the Iranian nuclear issue, making efforts on the Iranian nuclear program and sanctions relief, and negotiate on this basis.
The message from Iran comes just 2 weeks from the inauguration of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, who famously left the previous nuclear deal and applied a maximum pressure strategy of sanctions on Iran. Tehran is insisting diplomacy is always an option.
Because here's the difference between Biden and Trump's camp. Trump's camp, I'm not going to say they're perfect on everything. On this, they get it. They get it big. The Islamic regime of Iran is not to be negotiated with. It is not to be worked with. It is not representative of its people. And it is hijacking and colonizing, Islamically colonizing, tons of people from around the Middle East and North Africa. We need to topple this regime as a global community. We can't keep it going. And Trump's camp understands that. That's the difference between Biden and Kamala's camp. They never understood this, and you reap what you sow. You renewed negotiations with them. You renewed the JCPOA. You renewed the Iran nuclear deal. And this is the Middle East that you get. This is the foreign policy that you get.
Sanctions are an inhumane and hegemonic tool used by the United States and Western countries. These sanctions have been imposed on Iran for over 40 years, yet they have proven to be ineffective.
Meanwhile, Iran is facing significant...
By the way, don't believe that Iranian propaganda. It has been extremely effective. Extremely effective. When Trump was in power, is a known thing. Iran was broke. The IRGC of Iran was broke. They were flailing. They did not attack Israel in the way that they are now. They didn't push influence in the way that they did now. 4 years. Imagine 4 years of Biden's terrible policy. Look what it's created in the Middle East. It's the Middle East you have today. So don't believe that propaganda.
Economic struggles domestically, as well as a series of military setbacks, including a major weakening of its main proxies in the region. Iran is also dealing with an energy crisis that shut schools and official offices across the country in December after being forced to ration electricity in the middle of a harsh winter. In an interview with the China media group, Araghchi instead turned the focus to Iran's conflict with Israel.
We are fully prepared for the possibility of further attacks by Israel. I hope Israel will refrain from taking such reckless actions.
Look how they go to the victim seat immediately. More attacks by Israel. You guys attacked us. What are you on about? You guys attacked us, and now your proxies are crumbling, and you're reaping what you sow. You don't get to flip. You guys are the mighty Ummah. You guys are the mighty Muslims, the mighty Persian, Iranian IRGC. You guys have the power, no? Aren't you guys supported by the Islamic Ummah, the people of Lebanon and Syria and Masr and Urdun? Isn't everyone standing behind you to attack the evil Zionists? Oh, it seems not, my friend. It seems not. It seems we're in a different place now. Look how they take the victim seat. It's so funny.
as they could lead to a large-scale war.
The IDF is reportedly on high alert in the coming days, preparing for potential extreme steps by Iran against Israel, as the Islamic regime is increasingly under political and international pressure.
Now let's take a look. There's a great post by I-24 News. Let's take a look at the Israeli military on high alert as regional tensions, Iranian rhetoric escalates. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Faced with mounting military, economic, and political pressures, Iran may seek to strike Israel in the coming days, although experts say escalating Iranian rhetoric could be a mere bluster. If you want my personal opinion, which is the reason why you came to this video, you do want my personal opinion. Thank you for being here, by the way. And also, let me take a moment before we continue the news to say, I really appreciate all of you. There's been immense amounts of support on these sort of reaction news videos I've been doing. I mean, hundreds of thousands of views. So I really appreciate everybody who's coming here to get my commentary and subscribing. We're nearing 300,000 subs, which is something I never thought I'd hit. So really thank you for that. And thank you to everybody who's supporting the channel. You can buy merchandise like the hat that's right here behind me on screen at thetravelingclad.com. Best way to support me is joining my Patreon. You do get exclusive content. So thanks again. Just take a moment to really thank you guys. I really appreciate all the support. It's the only way that I can do this stuff. So Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi has placed the Israeli military on high alert, warning that Iran may take extreme measures against Israel in the coming days. Just for you guys to wonder too, for those of us on the ground, as for Home Front Command, nothing has changed. The country is still operating kind of normally now that we have the ceasefire with Hezbollah. That's supposed to wane soon too, by the way. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen once that wanes off. But as for this, we're on high alert, but nothing has really changed in what we call Pikuda Orif, which is the Home Front Command. We're operating as normal right now. So for anybody who was wondering, everybody's on high alert, but operating as normal. According to a report from Walla News, this heightened caution stems from escalating tensions in Iran in the country's economic, political, and military spheres. Unnamed defense sources cited a report indicate that these factors, combined with the uncertainty surrounding the return of President-elect Donald Trump to the White House later this month, could push Tehran towards aggressive actions. Given the complex and unpredictable nature of Iran's current situation, Israeli military leadership is preparing for a range of possible scenarios through specific details were not disclosed. And that's what I was saying earlier. You guys came here for my commentary. I think Iran might actually do it. And I think they might do it because they realize... Look, regardless if Trump is bluffing or not, and I don't even know to tell you if he's bluffing or not, because I hope that he is bluffing in a lot of ways, because I hope that he doesn't actually have the intention to escalate wars further in the Middle East, because I don't think anybody here wants to see it escalate further than it already has. But from another perspective, I hope that he knows that his bluff is just going to work. But I think that Tehran is freaking out. Like, I think they think he might follow through. And if they think he's going to follow through, that means direct strikes with the U.S. coalition in Israel on Iran. It's not something that the Islamic regime of Iran can handle. It's not something the population there can handle. It's going to end very, very badly for them. Very badly. So I do think that they might try to get one last hit in and then cry wolf and be like, no, we're done. I don't know if you guys have noticed, every time Iran has hit Israel, they finished their attack and then immediately cried, "Oh, we're done. We don't want to go any further. We're good." There's been 2 attacks so far that all they have done is kill and hurt Muslims and Palestinians. So just so you know, none of their attacks ever hurt a single Jewish people, a single Zionist, a single Jewish person. It only hurt Arab, Muslim, Palestinians every single time they launched their attacks. And I think that they're willing to risk the lives of more Arabs, more Palestinians to further their propaganda war, just so they could save face. This attack would be the 3rd direct Iranian attack on Israel since the war began, following the major strikes in April 2024 and October 2024. To summarize, April 2024, they injured one 7-year-old Bedouin girl in her house. Okay, she was in the hospital for months. She got out, but she's okay now. In October 2024, they murdered a Gazan Palestinian man who was hiding in Jericho in the West Bank. That's all the damage they were able to do to Israel. And that's not to make fun of those people who were killed, because it's not funny at all when the people who say they're protecting Arabs and Muslims go and murder Arabs and Muslims. But again, you reap what you sow. That's all I have to say about that one. Meir Litvak, a senior research associate with the Lion Center for Iranian Studies at Tel Aviv University, said that most likely target for a potential Iranian attack is a domestic Israeli infrastructure rather than Israeli embassies abroad. I can imagine another major missile attack. This could be an option. Another could be an attempt to target Israeli natural gas drilling stations or a major cyber attack aimed at paralyzing a critical system in Israel, and then maybe one of its proxies going in for like a rocket attack. You know, maybe trying to stunt the Iron Dome system, stop the sirens, and then launching major attacks on civilians. Either way, it'll be targeted towards civilians. We know that, as it's always been. He advised Israeli civilians to be cautious but to avoid panicking, noting that more information will likely be available soon. I have to say, from the perspective of somebody who's been living in Israel for the last year, the Israeli government and the army has been really on point, and Home Front Command has been really on point, and the people who man that stuff have been really on point on giving us the proper warnings at the right time. The last Iranian attack, we had a little bit shorter of a window. We had like an hour. The first one, we had like 6 hours. We were waiting for the rockets and the drones to arrive. The second one, it was a little bit less time, but still more than enough time for everybody to get into a shelter, everybody to hide in their bunkers, you know, until the attack was over. So I do give credit where credit's due. Israel has done a pretty phenomenal job protecting us, and I'm proud to say that that's what our government and our army does for us here. Ben Sapti, a researcher in the Institute for National Security Studies, says Iran's program said Iran has long promised a third attack on Israel following the attacks in April and October last year. Last article I just wanted to look at was more of a this is from First Post. I believe it's an Indian news syndicate. I just kind of wanted to breeze through here and see what what they were saying. Both of these are from a day ago. Let's see this. Let's see what they're on about in India. I'm curious what their analysis is on it.
Iran is preparing for war.
I like this host, by the way. I don't know her name. Palki Sharma. I really like her. She's super cool.
Its air defenses.
She's also really pretty.
Is tightening security around nuclear plants and conducting nationwide military drills. They're calling the exercise Iqtidar. In Farsi, Iqtidar means might. So this is basically a display of Iran's might. It involves the entire security apparatus of the country, from the army to the air force, and most importantly, the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This is the force that protects the regime, the IRGC. They are conducting drills in central Iran.
I would say protects the regime and colonizes the Middle East, but yes.
Near the Natanz nuclear plant. It's one of their most important nuclear facilities. And here, Iranian forces practiced how to respond to strikes from an enemy.
So they're on high alert. I guess they're on high alert.
In a situation close to reality.
They will conduct more such drills across Iran in the coming days. But the question is, why now? Why is Iran holding this exercise? Because it feels threatened by its arch enemies, Israel and the United States.
True.
Tehran fears an attack, and there is good reason for this. Last month, Joe Biden considered attacking Iran. He held a meeting with his national security team, and they discussed strike options.
And I think that's a good indication that whether Trump is going to do it or not, even though, like I said before, I'm not necessarily excited about the fact of America getting involved in the Middle East, like on the ground, or at least from far away. It's not going to end well for anybody, but it's necessary, and I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. I'm saying it's getting necessary. But the fact that Joe Biden discussed it means that probably Trump would execute on it.
They discussed the potential targets that they could hit inside Iran. They also talked about neutralizing threats from Iran. The Americans
could have also been, by the way, a show, just a show of force, just to say we're considering it, but never really having the intention to do it, just to dissuade Iran from going crazy.
Call this scenario planning. In the end, Biden did not order a strike. He hasn't ordered yet. But their plans are ready, very much in place, and can be used at any point.
Oh, Joe. Look at him. Fucking Joe Biden. Bro, you got to go retire, man. You got to get the hell out of here, bro. You're not supposed to be behind that desk.
In time. To make matters worse, Israel is making similar preparations. Reports say Israel, too, has drawn up strike options. Donald Trump's victory has emboldened them. Israel believes that even if Biden hesitates, Trump will support a direct attack on Iran.
Probably.
So they're counting on Trump to support Israeli strikes and to order American strikes on Iran. At least that's what Israel is said to be hoping for. Trump activating the plans that Biden has been reluctant to pursue. That is the hope, which brings us to the why. Why?
This is some solid journalism from Palki Sharma. I appreciate her voice. You know, I think... All right. I think she's beautiful, all right? But don't judge me. I do think she actually gives a Good. And every time I've seen her analysis, I don't even necessarily know if she's pro-Israel or not. It doesn't really matter. I think she's done fairly great journalism every time I've seen it. So I actually really appreciate her. It's not like the bullshit CNN, Fox News where they come on stage like, Iran's gonna strike Israel. So who's gonna talk about it? Let's bring on military secret correspondent. And some guy sits there for an hour and like, and I think they may, and maybe they won't, and maybe they have, but maybe they will do it. And there's actually some nice reporting. I like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say. That's my input. You know, I think it's gonna be really tense. Follow my channel. Follow all of my social media. By the way, I'm on X for anybody who's not following me on X. My X is popping right now. So please do give me a follow on X. Everything's the Traveling Clat or Traveling Clat. Look me up on Instagram. I do post usually in real time when crazy shit is happening in Israel. So if there are Islamic regime of Iran attacks on Israel, you'll see them live on my stories. I might go live on YouTube. I might go live on Twitter. Who knows? But follow me on all social medias because as things ramp up here and as things get crazy, I might not have the time to set up the mic, the studio lights, and all that to record a video like this. So you want to be in touch with me on the action on the ground. And again, guys, like I said before, I can't do this without your help. I need your help to continue. I need your money. I need your resources to help me grow this channel, to grow this content, and to keep this coming for you guys. I appreciate you so much. Everybody who's been giving, everybody who's joining the Patreon. And by the way, our Discord is open again. So join our Discord for awesome conversations. Super fun. Links to all that is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you. Long time, baby. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to monetarily support the channel. Some of the best ways to support me happen to be PayPal, buy me a coffee, or joining our Patreon community. Links to them can be found in the pinned comments or the description of every one of my videos. Joining my Patreon community gives you access to exclusive content and the chance to talk to me on our Discord server. I also go live almost every day here on YouTube. And after my live streams, me and my patrons from Patreon head over to our Discord server to an exclusive after-party hangout. Your support is the only way that I can keep creating the content that you love watching for me. Thank you.